Welcome back to my next Lost. Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important if you are caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Lost, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found it you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. Now, my history with Lost, I actually started watching the show in season 5 as it was airing. My roommate at the time was a big fan of Lost, so he kind of clued me in on stuff, but obviously I was kind of lost watching Lost. And then after it was over, I was able to watch all the rest of the show. And then in 2014, I rewatched the entire series, but binged watched it, so I didn't really think about it a lot. And then in 2020, again, I did the same thing, but just rewatched it without thinking about it. So now I'm taking my time in between the episodes, and I'm really going to take a deep dive into Lost. So join me on the journey, and let's discuss one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time. And yes, I like the ending of Lost. I know some of you don't. Well, that's because you were just lost watching the ending of Lost. But anyway, with all that said, this will be Lost. Season 1, Episode 6. The title of this episode is called House of the Rising Sun. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So, Sun's smelling plants and Jin's trying to catch a fish. Kate says Jack's tattoos just don't add up. Where are they from? What are these tattoos that you've got? And then we have a Sun and Jim flashback, obviously. And then Jin is a server, and he's serving champagne, and Jin doesn't want to elope, as Sun's father would never allow it. Jin says he'll talk to her father and make him understand. Jin ends up attacking Michael. Walt pleads with Jin for him to stop, and this goes on for a minute or so, like he's about to drown Michael, and then Sayid comes running in and tackles Jin, and Sawyer pulls Michael out of the water. Sayid demands the handcuffs that Sawyer has from the Sky Marshal, and then Sawyer ends up giving Sayid the handcuffs. Jin is handcuffed to a part of the plane that has a pipe on it. Jack, Kate, Charlie, and John Locke go for the caves where the water is that Jack found. Jack tells Charlie to keep an eye out for any medical supplies, drugs especially. Charlie goes away to do some heroin, or at least he tries to do some heroin. Locke tells Charlie, don't move. As it turns out, Charlie is standing on top of a beehive. Now, beehives are usually higher up, but this one for some reason was on the ground. Sayid says the cuffs stay on Jin until they find out why he tried to kill Michael. Back to a Jin and Sun flashback. Jin tells Sun her father gave him permission. Jin says he reasoned with him. Jin says he's going to be working for her father, just temporarily. Jin shows Sun an engagement ring. Charlie cracks the hive open that he was standing on top of, so everybody takes off running. Kate and Jack run to the caves, and Kate starts taking her shirt off. Jack takes his shirt off. And then Kate sees remains of a dead body. Now, I think there might have been multiple remains, but I only saw one from what I was paying attention to, but maybe I missed it. And Jack thinks the bodies have been there for approximately 40 to 50 years. Sun's been shopping. Jin bought her a dog. Sun's even got a Chanel bag. And Sun remembers when all Jin could give her was a flower. She liked those days. It was simple. It was simplistic. Jack talks to Kate about living in the caves. We don't have to bring the water to the people. We need to bring the people to the water, Jack says. Walt asks Michael why Jin doesn't like us. I believe this was the point where Michael said something racist or something like that because he's racist or something, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought there was something like that in this episode or somewhere. Maybe it was the last episode. And he's like, what did you do to him? And nothing. And then we go back to a Jin and Sun flashback. Jin comes home with blood all over his white t-shirt, or his white dress shirt, I should say. And, Sun's like, what happened, Jin? Or is this your blood? And she's trying to, she's all up in his, his personal space. And I think he kind of, pushed her aside a bit. And Sun slaps Jin because he won't look at her. Like, he's all focused on washing the blood off. So Jin says he does whatever her father tells him to do. Kate asks Jack if he was checking her out as she was bent over. And Jack's like, no, I really wasn't. And then Jack tells her that with the others, they're going to have to do a lot of convincing to get them all to come to the caves. Locke tells Charlie he knows who he is. He has both of Driveshaft's albums. Locke also tells Charlie he has faith in him. Saeed is mad that Jack wants to go live in the caves. I guess somewhere I put in here that Jack and Kate came back to the shore, but it got deleted. But Jack and Kate end up coming back to the shore, and then Saeed is mad that Jack and Kate want to go live in the caves because a plane can come by and they won't be able to spot them because they'll be hiding in the caves with cover. So Hurley asks Jack if he's going to move into the caves with Kate, and Sawyer talks to Freckles, his nickname for Kate. He wants to know if she's going to the caves. And then we're back to the Sun and Jin flashbacks. Sun wants to get away from Jin. All he cares about is money and buying her expensive things and Chanel and puppies, and she's leaving him and she's going into hiding of sorts. Her family will think she was actually kidnapped. And then Sun goes to talk to Michael. She speaks English. I need to talk to you, she says. Michael looks stunned, like, you speak English? Yes. You speak English. My husband doesn't know. And then she tells Michael that Jin attacked him due to the watch that he's wearing, as it belonged to her father. It was something that he found in the wreckage of the plane. He put it on because, well, not let a nice watch like that go to waste. It's no value on this island, not yet anyway. Maybe someday, but and then Sun says that I need to help. Like that was something that Jin had to keep an eye on, was that watch and her father. So, but Sun says I need your help. Charlie tells Locke he needs some privacy. Locke knows about the drugs. He wants Charlie to hand over the heroin to him. He asks Charlie if he wants his guitar more than his drugs. And Charlie's like, yeah. And then Charlie gives Locke the drugs. That was the agreement. You give me the drugs and your guitar will be here. And then he tells Charlie to look up. Charlie's guitar case is up. So he's going to have his guitar back. Kate tells Jack she's not going. Jack tells her if she needs him, she knows where to find him. Michael takes an axe to Jin. He gives Jin back the watch and says stay away from him and stay away from his kid. Like Jin really understands any of that. Well, Sun would. Maybe she translates for him. And then at the airport, in the flashback before the plane crash, Sun decides not to leave Jin, probably due to the fact that he showed her a flower. So there was no expensive gift, it was just a flower. And then Jin asks if something's wrong, and she says it was too beautiful as she was kind of tearing up. Charlie's playing his guitar. Jack arrives at the caves with Hurley, Jin, and Sun. We're showing Jack and Kate deep in thought, probably thinking about each other maybe. Jack on one side, Kate on the other side. Not in the same place, though. Kate's at the beach still, and Jack's at the caves, and that's what ends this episode of Lost. So, pretty good stuff. We're setting up the story here. So, at times it moves a little slow. I'm giving it a lower score than you'd think I would, some of these episodes. I'm going to give it a 7.8 out of 10. And as far as my characters of the episode, I'm going to give the female one to Sun. Especially because of the fact that, all of a sudden she speaks English, and we didn't think that was possible. We thought she'd learn it eventually, but we didn't know she already knew how to speak it. And then for the males, Jack probably could be the male character of every episode. I'm going to give this one to Michael because, he had some focus at times, and then he threatened Jin, and I thought he was a focal point of sorts in the episode. So you've heard everything I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Lost and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please consider Hulk smashing the like button, and keep in mind, I cover a lot of stuff on my channel. Go to my playlist. I cover The Walking Dead. Every show of The Walking Dead that's coming. Breaking Bad, Dexter, Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, Shameless. I cover UFC live fight reactions of their big events. I do movie franchise ranking videos and movie rankings at the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff on this channel, so check it out. There might be more than just Lost stuff that you'll like. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Lost. What would you rate it? And whom would be your male who would be your character, a female character of the episode. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDevTV.